What's up, guys? The Snowman here, back with an informational video for any and all gambling aficionados out there. It's my Sports Gambling Explained. Seems like every year sports betting is getting legalized in more and more states across the U.S. Sportsbooks certainly very prominent on a global scale as well. This video today is meant for anyone who may be new to sports gambling or anyone wanting to brush up on the basics. We're going to go over all the fundamentals, things like how bets work, different kinds of bets, money line, spreads, over-under, futures, everything from teasers to parlays to help you supplement your sports viewing experience by adding in some wagering fun. If you're interested in getting started, these are some of the top online sportsbooks in the country. Sites like FanDuel and DraftKings are great. Those are kind of the two leading sportsbooks in the country, and then BetMGM, Caesars, Bet365, ESPN Bet, all good options as well. This is a map of the states where sports betting is currently legal as of 2024. 30 states in green where online betting is allowed. The gray states are where sports betting could be coming soon. Yellow is retail only, and red states still have no sports betting of any kind. Let's go over some basic terms now, starting with money line. What does it mean to bet the money line? That simply means you're betting on a specific team to win the game. In this example, I have an NBA bet, a playoff game between the Denver Nuggets and Los Angeles Lakers, where it says money or money line will list the odds for each team to win the particular game. In this case, the Nuggets money line odds are minus 270. What does that mean? Well, if we use our odds converter here, we can see that minus 270 in American odds have an implied probability of about 73%. So that's what this sportsbook is saying. The odds of the Nuggets winning this game are, if I were to place a $10 bet on the Nuggets money line at minus 270 odds, I would win $3.70 if the Nuggets win, and I would lose my original $10 bet if the Nuggets lost. If the odds were, say, minus 1,000, then the Nuggets would be even heavier favorites to win. Now they have a 91% implied chance to win, and a $10 bet would only net me $1 worth of profit. The higher the odds are, the safer your bet is, so the less money you would make. On the flip side, if I bet on the Lakers money line at plus 220 odds, if I think they're going to win this game, then the return on my investment would actually be greater. Unfortunately, the implied odds here are about 31%, so it's clearly less likely to happen. If I bet $10 on the Lakers money line, I would win $22, and if they lose, I would lose that $10 bet. So it's always a higher payout the worse a team's chances are to win. In other words, the riskier a bet is, the more potential cash you can win in return. Let's go back to FanDuel now and say I don't want to bet on the money line. Instead, maybe I want to bet on the spread. What does the spread mean? Well, in this case, the spread is listed as the Lakers plus 6.5 points and the Nuggets minus 6.5 points. If I bet on the Lakers spread, essentially I get the Lakers plus those 6.5 points. So if the Lakers win the game outright, or if they lose by 6 points or less, I would win my bet. However, if they lost by 7 or more points, I would lose. On the other hand, if I bet on the Nuggets minus 6.5, they would need to win and then win by 7 points or more, or else I would lose the bet. You'll see spreads in most sports, especially American football and basketball, but also sports like baseball, hockey, soccer, and others. Spreads are just another way of sizing up a matchup and determining which side is favored. Now, you may have noticed in blue numbers the odds below the spread amounts here. For the Lakers, it's at minus 106, the Nuggets minus 114. Most of the time, it'll be right around minus 110 for each team because spreads are designed to be as close to 50-50 as possible. 50% chance the Lakers plus 6.5 wins, and 50% chance the Nuggets minus 6.5 points wins. In this scenario, the odds are juiced slightly in favor of the Nuggets. You might ask, well, if they're 50-50, wouldn't the odds be minus 100 for each side? It's a great question, but the answer, unfortunately, most sports books are in the business of making money, so they'll juice the odds to something like minus 105 or minus 110, or in this case, minus 106 and minus 114. Just think about it for a sec. If every game we could bet on had spreads with truly even odds at minus 100 each, then FanDuel wouldn't necessarily make money in the long run. Listing a spread at minus 110 or something higher than 100 is basically, that's how the sportsbook ensures they can make a profit at the end of the day. Think of this as your gambling tax. Again, most of the time it's going to be right around minus 110 odds for each side, but in this case, the Nuggets minus 6.5, slightly favored, so that's why it's at minus 114. These numbers are constantly changing as more of the public place bets and the odds shift. Another common bet you can place is on the total or the over-under. With over-under bets, you're simply betting on how many total points are scored in a sporting event. In our example here, the over-under total is 217 points, so you can bet for this game that between the Lakers and the Nuggets, there will either be more or less than 217 points scored. If the game ends exactly at 217, let's say it's a final score of 110 to 107, in that case the bet will be declared a push and you would get your money back. You wouldn't win or lose since the total landed exactly on the over-under amount. Next thing to discuss are future bets. Like the name suggests, futures are bets on a future result. So instead of betting on an individual game, you're betting on a long-term outcome. Say you want to bet on the 2024 NFL season Super Bowl winner before the season even begins. These are the odds for all 32 teams in the league to win the Super Bowl. San Francisco with the best odds at plus 550. Kansas City next at 6-1. The Ravens at plus 950. Let's say I want to bid on the Cincinnati Bengals to be the next Super Bowl champ. Those odds 13-1. So if I bet $10 on Cincy, I would net $130 if they won the whole thing. Futures tend to be more long shot type bets than money line, spread, or total bets, but they can be highly lucrative if you're able to connect on a future from time to time. Let's go over parlays now. Parlays are a type of bet that has two or more individual legs attached to it. You can parlay together single game bets like money lines, totals, spreads. You can also combine futures in a parlay like I've done here. These are odds for the soccer tournament Euro 2024. And what I've done is put 4 future bets and parlayed them together. I have 4 teams, Italy, France, Germany, and England, all winning their respective groups at this event. If I bet $10 on this parlay, I could win about $77. Now here's the key with parlays. The good news is that when you combine single bets together into a parlay, you get better odds than you would if you bet everything individually, so there's a greater potential reward. The bad news is that unless every single bet in your parlay hits, then you lose the bet automatically. So in this example, I need the Yankees to win, I need the Twins to win by 2 runs or more, and the Reds and Padres to score 8 runs or more combined. If any of those 3 bets loses, I lose my parlay bet completely. So there's definitely pros and cons. Most sports books will also allow you to do what's called a same game parlay as well. They're a type of parlay, but instead of combining multiple different sporting events, you're combining bets from the same game. In this example, I have the 76ers money line, Joel Embiid scoring 30 points or more, Jalen Brunson with 25 points, Dante DiVincenzo making at least 2 threes, and Maxey recording a steal. I need all 5 of those things to happen for me to win this bet. If they all do, I'll get rewarded at almost 5-1 odds. That's a same game parlay. Last term to go over today, teasers. What is a teaser? A teaser bet is a type of parlay where you can adjust the spread or total by a certain amount of points for all bets involved. You're essentially making the outcomes more in your favor. However, you're not getting as good of odds as you would if you did a parlay without teasing the bets in your favor. Teasers are very popular in American football, especially. You can see in this example, I've taken 2 games. It's a 6-point tease. Notre Dame was plus 1.5 in the original spread, but I teased them up to plus 7.5. So now they just have to lose by 7 or less or win outright. My other leg here, Georgia, I teased them down from minus 12.5 to minus 6.5. So now they just need to win by a touchdown or more. If both of those bets hit, I will win my teaser. 6 and 7 point teasers are pretty common, but you can raise that amount to, I believe, up to 14 points at most places. Here I have a 3-team 10-point teaser. Basically, the more points you use in the teaser, the worse your reward will be. However, since this has 3 legs instead of 2, my odds are still at plus 100, pretty similar to the 2-team 6-point tease. Teasers can be a really fun way of combining spreads and totals during the football season as a more conservative way to combine multiple games. Thank you so much for watching my Sports Gambling Explained video. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. I know it can be kind of a complicated thing to break into at the start, but I promise it does get easier, it does get simpler. So leave any questions that you might have and subscribe to the Snowman Sports Media for more sports content every week. Cheers.